Last time on Round Sailing, Johan and I passed through a sunny Prince Rupert in northern British Columbia. We continued south on the Inside Passage to Coalescence Inlet. In Low Inlet, we had salmon running next to us and bears walking on the beach.
We're sailing in Grenville Channel. Now we're in the southern parts and we have 8 miles to go until we're heading out from the channel. When we're coming out from the channel, we will turn to the east and go to a native village called Hartley Bay. The sailing is super nice. Sailing downwind, we have northerly winds doing like 5.2 knots.
My sailing today, or it's not very fast, but it's nice. We're having wing on wing, about 10 to 15 knots of wind, trying to download some weather on the iridium, but I don't know, maybe it's the mountains here. We only get reception for a short while and then it cuts off and we have to wait, I guess, for another satellite to come in view, so it takes forever. Been trying to download now for I don't know, 45 minutes.
Ship to the one that we passed in the Panama Canal. That was called Amsterdam and this is called Volendam. So cool.
It's exciting to sail this close to land. The surrounding mountains drop straight down in the water, making it possible to go this close to shore.
Hartley Bay is a First Nation village and home to the Gitgat people, which means the people of the cane. The village has a population of around 200 and is only accessible with boat or seaplane.
And the whole village here is built, it's like a boardwalks everywhere and all the houses are built on stilts. So it's quite special.
There were actually 2 Swedish boats in the harbor. Fjording was built in northern Sweden in 1938 and was used by the Swedish Coast Guard. Later on in the 50s, a couple bought it and sailed it to the Caribbean. Fjording was one of the first boats to do charters in the British Virgin Islands.
It is a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, it's not quite so much anymore. It's about 6.5 feet.
But it's kind of different.
A runaway torpedo.
Since the time in the Caribbean, Fjording changed owners a few times. And in 1995, the current owners bought the boat in Marina del Rey, Los Angeles, and have lived aboard ever since.
This is the wheelhouse.
The name Fjording is actually a type of horse, originating from Norway.
Wow.
Häftigt, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Oh,
it's a power station.
yeah.
Yeah,
For the master of the ship.
yeah. And a little
Rules.
seat here. Look at the
Yeah, 2
wheel.
seats,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we can both sit up
Yeah,
here.
2 seats, yeah.
So
Nice.
this is
your...
mastered up engine room with workbenches.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's big.
That's my husband. He likes that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was our pleasure.
Beautiful
Seriously.
boat.
The next day we went further east to Bishop Bay. As we were entering the inlet, the catamaran Makara called us on the VHF, telling us that there was a pot of humpbacks in the bay.
We drifted slowly in the middle of the bay, observing the pod of 5 or 6 humpbacks. Bishop Bay lies quite far from the open ocean, so it's interesting to see that the whales move this far into channels and inlets.
We took one of the mooring balls and turned off the engine. The engine had sounded strange the same morning when we started it, and I suspected something wasn't right with the starter. Now when I tried to restart the engine, the starter wouldn't engage, and we had a new problem to deal with.
So I think I found a problem, and it's first I thought it was the solenoid, some glitch in here, which is pretty common, but it's not. I think it's somewhere in the ignition key out there, because to engage the solenoid, you put these two together, or that's what the ignition key does. It connects this pole to this pole. And that way the magnet in here will engage the solenoid and the bigger motor here will start spinning. But that doesn't work for some reason, and I haven't found out why yet. So I will just try to make a workaround now so we can start the engine and at least see that, yeah, we have an engine right now, because that's my biggest concern. So I just made this 2 cables and a switch. So I will, yeah, try to fit this, and the way it works is this is ground, and when I push these, it connects between these 2 poles. By the way, this starter is an old one. It's not the one that is on the engine right now. It does work, but it's kind of, yeah, like you heard, it's not the best one, but it's the spare we have. So if it's a problem with the starter that's on the engine right now, we could swap it to this one. But this one is much bigger, and it's a lot of work to fit it in there because it's so big. So hopefully this will work, and we'll find the real cause of the problem later somewhere in the electrical system. Maybe it's just the ignition switch up in the cockpit. Well, we'll see. So now we'll see if the hot springs here in BC is better than the one we were at in Alaska, at Baranof Island. It's a small hut over here that they have built some. I guess it's like a bathtub, but out of concrete. And they say that the water here doesn't smell at all, so no sulfuric acid in the water, so it should be clean and hot. Yeah, so because of the problems we had yesterday with the starter on the motor, we didn't get the opportunity to try out the hot springs yesterday. But that's okay, because today we're totally alone here. There's only one boat left, and they're also leaving now. So we get the place all to ourselves today.
Look at these.
Looks nice, huh?
Oh yeah. Looks really nice. It's warm. Oh, it's so nice. Skönt, va? Härligt, va?
Det är helt varmt.
Ja. Känn här är det varmare. It's so nice to be here all alone. This place, comparing to the one in Warm Springs Bay in Southeast Alaska, they're really different, because this is like man-made. They like taken the water and then they made these tubs, and whereas in Warm Springs Bay it was just
more natural.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was next to the waterfall. But I think this is really beautiful as well.
It was a bit warmer
Yeah.
in Warm Springs Bay, but it smelled a lot more. Here, the water is totally clear and it doesn't smell.
And I think it's a nice temperature.
Yeah.
Because the one in Warm Springs Bay was almost too warm.
Really hot.
So you have to get up. You have to go up after a while. But first, before we leave here, we have to leave our mark. We have to. Everyone is like hanging stuff in the ceilings with their names and boat names, and when they were here. So I mean, we have to do something as well. I think we have an old flag, a small Swedish flag that we can hang up here.
Warm. There's a pod of humpback whales. I think it's the same pod that was here yesterday.
It turned out to be two problems with the engine. A broken relay and a faulty ground solenoid. But the bypass solution will work fine for now.
There we go. So this will be our mark that we leave. A little sign that we were here, the date, Swedish flag. I'm gonna run up there now and hang it up. Okay, I run up to hang the flag. So I left a little mark from us here in Bishop Bay. I hang it over there. Bjorn is out there and he's gonna come and pick me up now. Oh, I can hear the whales. Hey! It's the same whales as yesterday.
Their lungs are just enormous. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times we encounter whales up close, we never get tired of them. Whales have a way of leaving you with a feeling of how amazing our planet really is, with all its diversity and abundance of natural wonders.
feel the spray?
Yeah. It's not. This is just so amazing. They're really curious and they come up to the boat. Look. Oh, wow.
They're so beautiful. Look at them, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Some of them are black on the tail, but some are white. But not all of them are white.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. See you next week.